Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today for our March Quilting Life Planner and Workbook workshop. Wow, that's a mouthful. So today we're going to talk about the March or the month, the third section of the planner, the different tasks that you'll want to focus on for this month. And also there were just some really great ideas in the comments from our February video that I wanted to share with everyone just in case you didn't get a chance to read those. I just really got some great ideas myself and really appreciate all of you for sharing. So once again, after today's video, please feel free to leave any additional comments, ideas that you have so we can share them with the community, and also any questions for next month's video. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as I mentioned in the intro, I first want to start just by sharing with you some of the great comments that we received on the February video. A couple people had a couple of ideas if we do make a revision, and I probably need to talk to my publisher about this, but they suggested maybe doubling the long-term project pages and the bucket list pages. So those must be people with a lot of works in progress. I'll check into that and see if we're going to make any revisions or not. If not, you could purchase another planner and have, if not separate it by year, you could also separate it by quilts and smaller projects. You could have a separate planner for your charity sewing. Lots of options for that, but I will look into that. So thank you for asking that. Okay, so I also had a question about thread inventory, and that is a really great idea. I didn't, I guess, think of that when I designed the planner. I primarily use the same color for all my piecing, but I do have a lot of other colors of thread. If you really want to keep track of your thread inventory and you want a place to do it in this planner, I suggest you might be able to go to page 49. That is the wish list page, and you could kind of convert that into a thread inventory page if you wanted. Okay, just a couple of ideas that I wanted to share that people sent in their comments. I thought this was such a great idea. One viewer, I guess I should say viewer since these are all comments from the YouTube page, she suggested that she doesn't use the monthly planner pages as her calendar per se. She has a lot in her phone, but she uses it as her to-do list. And I love that idea, to just use those daily blocks on the calendar page as your daily to-do list. And also they're not that big, so you can't put too many things on one day and overwhelm yourself. I really love that idea. Another viewer wrote in and said she uses those pages as her daily gratitude journal, and I really love that idea as well. I actually have a daily gratitude journal, but how easy if you're using this for all of your quilting to have it all in one place. So another great idea. Somebody else suggested that they photocopy their project planner pages, and then after they've put all the information in the planner, and then they make a photocopy and put that with their project. So in case they're, I can see how beneficial that would be, where you could have that paper there, you could make scratch notes on that photocopied paper, and then, you could go back to your planner and finalize where you're at and what has changed and what you've updated. You could also easily take it on a trip if you were going to take a class or something like that. So another really great idea. Another writer or viewer suggested that she notes on the monthly top 3 if she has gotten her machine serviced that month. So at the end of the year, she can go back and she can see exactly when that service was. And her comment actually made me think, wow, that would also be a great place to note when you clean the lint from the bottom of your machine and when you change your needle. You could also put stuff like that if you change your rotary cutter blade. So her comment just really got me going, like, wow, there's so many things you could put there just to have a record, and then you'd easily be able to flip back through and see when you had done those things. Finally, before I get on to this month's little projects, there were a lot of questions about the stand. This is from Fat Quarter Shop. I'll put a link. Somebody commented that once they sell all of a certain color, they switch the color. So I know the aqua was the first color. I also have the pink color. I don't know if you can see it behind me. It's up on the very top shelf of my bookshelf. I've got the pink colored stand that I have a cross stitch piece on. But the writer suggested that the next color might be yellow. So I don't know what is available now, if that's pink or yellow, or but I will put a link to these. They are super handy for holding your pattern, quilting books, anything like that. And they are from Fat Quarter Shop. Okay, so we're now gonna just get started and talk about a little bit about what's going on for March. Okay, so just for starters, I'm filming this in February, but this is our March video. And I did notice, I really haven't talked about this a lot, but at the top of all the monthly pages, just remember that there's some little reminders for you to review your goals and schedule time for your works in progress, your long-term projects, organization, and then there are two blank spots that you can use to fill in whatever you want. Okay, so March, I know our planners are undated, but I'm using March for the third section of the planner. And the third section is all about quilting and sewing systems. And it's so funny that this is perfect timing for me personally, because I feel like March is the month that my little sewing room organization project is going to be completed. And so this is the perfect timing for me to sit down and kind of go through these exercises myself. A lot of productivity experts will tell you that having a system is the most effective way to make things run smoothly in your life and also in your quilting life. And as noted over here in the column, later in the planner, we do have a section for home organizing systems that really starts right around page 77. But for this month, we're just going to kind of talk about our quilting and sewing systems. Okay, so first up is just a little couple paragraphs that you'll want to read about having some systems in place for your current works in progress. And a lot of you that have followed along know that in 2021, I had I think I called it my Saturday system, and one Saturday a month I dedicated to works in progress. One Saturday a month I dedicated to organizing. One Saturday I tried to work on scraps. This year I've kind of haven't been as strict with doing those on the same week every month, but I've just kind of looked to see what my schedule is like and when I can work on those kind of projects. But I feel like for me, just really that is the system, is on Saturdays reviewing all of these different things. And I just know, hey, it's Saturday, I'm going to go in my sewing room for a little while, and whether I work on a work in progress or I trim up some scraps or I clean the room, I just always know that I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 hours in there on Saturday doing projects like that, not doing my other projects. The other thing, this is on page 22, we're talking about systems for long-term works in progress. And I feel like that's something you'll just need to think through as well. When do you want to work on those? Do you want to work on those once a month, or only when you go to a retreat, or only when you have a sew day with your friends? So many different ideas. Just come up with a system and make it, and then also, as I always mention, change it whenever it doesn't feel like it's working for you anymore. Okay, and actually over here on page 23, this is where you have the place to just kind of make your notes. This is kind of the content to get you thinking about it. And then over here, current works and projects, you can list the project and what the next step is. I have found has been the most helpful thing. If the next step is cutting the border, or the next step is sewing the half square triangles, or if I'm using half square triangle paper, if the next step is pinning the half square triangle, it really helps me to have a next step. And so this is a great little place, project and the next step. Also, long-term works in progress, same thing. We've got 2 next steps for that, just because I feel like those might be going on for a little bit longer, and maybe we didn't want to have so many different entries. So that's why we did that way. Okay, when you turn the page, we've also got, you should have a system for your block of the month and sew along projects. And so we've got a list right there on page 24 where you can name the block of the month or the sew along project, and also a little checkbox after you've put it on your monthly calendar. I know that my Quilting Life blocks of the month, a lot of you that follow along with that, they always are released on the first Thursday. So you can put that on your calendar for the first, maybe you're going to sew it every first Friday because you know you'll have that pattern the day before. So whatever you like to do for that. And then systems for cleaning and organizing in your sewing room. So I've got a lot of little helps right here that you can read through. I feel like those are kind of my top tips here on page 25, and then a little bit of talk about your organizational goals, and then a space for 12 different areas that you want to get and keep organized. And the reason I put 12 here, honestly, is because maybe one per month. This shouldn't be overwhelming. So maybe, and if you haven't started this yet, just start where you are. But this month, I want to do this, and it doesn't have to be a big project. So again, just having a system for working through it is, I feel like, the best step. And that's really it for the March kind of things, is just to think those systems through and get it in your mind how you're going to work on those different tasks and organizing. And I've mentioned earlier, I think on some other videos, but just want to let you know that I am going to be doing a kind of a full video with my sewing room organization once it is underway and complete. I'm going to film some different steps of the process and share that with you. Okay, that's it for March. Okay, that's it for the March Quilting Life Planner and Workbook Workshop. I hope you got some good ideas from today's video. A little bit shorter today, I feel like, than in January, February, and even December. But I really feel like the main purpose of these videos is just to kind of keep you on track and put it in your mind again, hey, let's take some time this month and work on this. And every little step forward is a step forward. So hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please share it with a friend. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And thanks so much for stopping by.